Mark Zuckerberg's name has become synonymous with social media and the digital age. But his journey from a Harvard dorm room programmer to the architect of one of the world's largest social networks is far more than just a tech success story. It's a tale about youthful ambition, navigating controversies, reshaping communication, and wrestling with the responsibilities that come with unprecedented power. At its heart, Mark's story is about a vision to connect people and an unyielding drive to turn an idea into a platform that billions use every day. Even if sometimes they love it, sometimes they hate it, and often they just can't look away. Early years. The making of a coding prodigy. Mark Elliott Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, in White Plains, New York, and raised in the nearby town of Dobbs Ferry. From an early age, Mark exhibited a sharp intellect and an intense curiosity, especially when it came to computers. His father, a dentist, and his mother, a psychiatrist, nurtured his talents, but probably didn't anticipate that their son would one day redefine the way the world socializes. In middle school, Mark was already creating computer programs, including a music player he named Synapse Media Player, which used machine learning to predict the songs users wanted to hear. Despite his youth, his knack for coding and problem-solving caught the attention of major tech companies like Microsoft and AOL, who reportedly tried to recruit him before he'd even finished high school. Mark was, in many ways, a typical teenage genius, brilliant but sometimes socially awkward, hyper-focused on his projects, and occasionally disconnected from the normal rhythms of adolescent life. This intense focus was the soil in which his future empire would take root. Harvard days and the birth of Facebook, the dorm room that changed the world. In 2002, Mark enrolled at Harvard University. Like many freshmen, he experimented with campus life, but his true passion was coding. In early 2004, alongside his roommates and friends Andrew McCullum, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes, Mark launched Facebook, originally intended as an online directory for Harvard students to connect. The concept was simple yet revolutionary, a website where students could create profiles, share photos, post updates, and communicate instantly. The site caught on quickly, spreading first other Ivy League schools, then to universities nationwide, and eventually exploding into the global platform we know today. Mark's leadership style was famously intense and sometimes brusque. He was deeply involved in product decisions, often coding late into the night and pushing his team hard. His vision was singular: to create a digital space that connected people in new, meaningful ways. Rapid expansion and growing pains. Facebook's growth was dizzying. By 2006, it opened registration to the public, and user numbers skyrocketed. Suddenly, this college project had become a social phenomenon, fundamentally changing how people interacted online. But with scale came challenges. Facebook faced stiff competition from other social networks like MySpace and later Twitter. Mark navigated these battles with a mix of innovation, aggressive growth strategies, and sometimes controversial tactics. He acquired potential rivals like Instagram and WhatsApp, expanding Facebook's reach and influence far beyond its original scope. At the same time, the platform began grappling with more serious issues: privacy concerns, data misuse, and the spread of misinformation. Mark, as the public face of Facebook, found himself in the spotlight not just as a tech visionary, but as a corporate leader facing intense scrutiny from regulators, governments, and the public. Controversies and criticism, the price of connecting billions. No modern tech story is complete without controversy, and Facebook's is particularly complex. From the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where user data was improperly accessed and used for political purposes, to repeated debates over content moderation, hate speech, and election interference, Zuckerberg's leadership has been tested time and again. Mark's response to these crises has been a mix of apology, defense, and pledges for reform. Critics often paint him as either too defensive or too detached, while supporters highlight the unprecedented scale and complexity of managing a platform used by billions worldwide. These challenges underscore a key tension in Mark's journey: how to balance innovation and growth with ethical responsibility and public trust. Beyond Facebook, building Meta and looking to the future. In 2021, Facebook rebranded itself as Meta, signaling a bold pivot toward the metaverse, a future vision of interconnected virtual and augmented reality spaces. Mark has framed this as the next frontier for social connection, one that will redefine not just how we communicate, but how we work, learn, and play. This ambitious bet reflects Mark's enduring willingness to think big and imagine the future. It also shows his intent to keep pushing boundaries, even as Facebook grapples with ongoing regulatory and reputational challenges. The personal side, family, philanthropy, and humility. Despite his global fame and immense wealth, Mark Zuckerberg has maintained a relatively private personal life. He married Priscilla Chan, a pediatrician and philanthropist, in 2012, and together they have pledged to give away 99% of their Facebook shares during their lifetime through the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative. Mark's philanthropic efforts focus on education, science, and disease prevention, echoing his belief in using technology and data to solve big problems. He's also known for his down-to-earth style, often seen in his signature gray t-shirt and jeans, the antithesis of the typical corporate suit and tie CEO. Those who know him describe a driven but thoughtful man, always thinking about what comes next, but grounded by a commitment to making a positive impact. Final thoughts: a legacy still in progress. Mark Zuckerberg's story is still being written. From a brilliant but socially awkward teenager to the creator of the world's largest social network, his journey captures the promise and perils of the digital age. He's a figure who embodies innovation, controversy, ambition, and responsibility. While critics debate his legacy, there's no denying that Mark has fundamentally reshaped how humans connect and communicate. He has changed the social fabric of the world in ways both celebrated and contested. As Meta pushes into new realms of virtual reality and digital interaction, Mark Zuckerberg remains a pivotal figure, one who continues to shape the future in ways we're only beginning to understand.